I have Jen,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
John's absent, Nathan,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes. That motion passes at 7:02. The second motion,
I move to adopt items 1, 2, and 3 inclusively on the consent agenda in a single group pursuant to the omnibus vote procedures specified in the Illinois Municipal Code.
second. Jen makes a motion to adopt items 1 through 3 inclusively as a consent agenda. Nathan seconds. Roll call, please.
Bill,
Yes.
John's absent, Nathan,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Jen.
Yes.
Motion passes at 7:02. Also. All right. Fourth item, we need a motion and a second for discussion.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 24-08, a resolution approving and authorizing execution of commercial flooring quote and contract from Sherman-Williams for installation of carpet in second floor apartment at 106 North Elm Street, Davis Junction, Illinois.
Second.
Nathan makes a motion to approve resolution number 24-08. Jen seconds. Any discussion?
Go ahead, you first. My question is, we're not gonna rent this apartment out anymore, correct? So why are we putting new carpet in it?
So if everybody will remember the conversations from when we discussed the cost savings of not removing the deck and removing the tenant from upstairs to downstairs, that downstairs was currently being occupied as an office within the village. And so therefore we have just switched the office to the upstairs level. And so that is the office of our public works supervisor. And the condition of the carpet is not such that it should remain. Therefore, as we discussed previously, I added this to the agenda and I received the quote as required. It unfortunately was higher than my spending limit, so I did put it back on the agenda for approval.
Was the carpet in that shape before the tenant took possession?
As with the downstairs apartment, neither one of those apartments had been neither one of those carpets had been replaced in as long as I had been a trustee here, so long before that tenant was in possession.
I got two questions. One, is it safe for you to be up there in an office? Because I mean, the whole point of us removing him is because it wasn't safe.
Yes, because it's not a,
Sure thing.
thank you, Jen. Because it is not a living quarters, it absolutely can be. I did speak with a former trustee who happens to be a fire chief in another district, and he assured me that only one thing needs to be done in order to make sure that it's compliant. So we'll make sure that's completed.
All right, and my second thing is, we cannot get too close? If for me, if I see something come through that should have more than one quote, I'm gonna vote no on it each and every time. So
So we obtained quotes for apartment one at multiple quotes. You guys approved apartment one, this being that person was the lowest bid. Therefore, we stuck with the same company that provided us the lowest bid as we did for apartment one. I didn't feel it was necessary to obtain additional quotes since we had previously
How
done
long
that for the first floor apartment. 3 months, 2 months.
can you put those in the board packet next time and then we can see?
Unfortunately, they aren't comparable quotes. So if I put them in the board packet, you won't be aware of that. It would be easier for me if we just.
Again, for me, I want to see two quotes.
Yeah.
I believe those would be still in the board packet from
They
the
are.
previous.
They are. You
situation.
can look them
So
up.
we could peruse backwards.
I think
Yeah,
his
just-
point, the point is he doesn't know.
Right.
So when you
Hold
did it-
on. For me, this is going forward. If somebody wants to purchase something, if I don't see it, I'm going to vote no. You can do what you want. You can put one in there, that's up to you, but I'm going to vote no if I don't see at least two, unless it's like a sole source item, something like that.
So it would be beneficial to all of us supervisors if you would bring that information to me the moment that you actually open your board packet. That way I could have had this explanation and provided you those other quotes or shared them with the rest of the board. So when you want things like that that are outside of the scope of the board packet itself, feel free to contact me.
Going forward, you know my opinion, right? All right.
Further discussion? Motion and second on the table. Money, roll call.
John is absent, Nathan,
Yes.
Chris,
No,
Patrick,
no.
Jen,
Yes.
Bill,
No.
Motion fails.
Interesting.
So that being said, can I ask a question? Where would we like to put our public works supervisor's office at this point?
The new building we're gonna build.
Plug would be there with the global carpet.
That was a joke.
I don't have a problem with them having an office.
No, I asked, that's not what I asked. I asked, where would you like that office to be? Because this is clearly not where you want it to be, and the carpet is not in a condition that it could be, that you can be up
Do you
there.
have a source that's that is good enough to stay in? Do you have an idea of a good enough place? Like, cause there's no other place for the office, is the point, right? There's no other buildings or anything
No,
else that we have space
there's
for an
not.
office. This is the best choice that
Well,
you've been
I-
using from before, correct?
Yes,
So
correct.
just clarifying.
Again, I have no problem with him having an office there. My problem is I want to see two quotes. And I don't, personally, I don't think we should be putting carpet there, period. If you're not gonna rent it out, it should be.
I'm sorry, I would actually request in 2 weeks that we go for a field trip during the middle of the board meeting. I would like them to see the condition of that, of the carpet, and I think that would help benefit. I think that would benefit. I think you would benefit.
Doesn't have anything to do with two quotes.
Finish your statement. You don't want carpet. What would you rather see up there?
I'd rather see some other kind of flooring in there. Why are we putting carpet in there?
That's gonna be
Okay.
a lot.
Usually the most cost effective,
That and sound
I
for
haven't
the
seen
tenant
that.
underneath.
In 2 weeks, can you get the second quote?
I will reach out to the maintenance department to see if they can do that. I don't obtain quotes.
Okay.
Thank you.
That simplifies everything. Any,
I just curious, where are you housed currently, since you can't be in?
I am using the village residence funds.
it's a good spot.
It's a little warm.
It's.
It is very warm.
Warm up there. So
Yeah,
slightly.
yeah, oh my gosh,
Imagine that for a fat guy.
especially at this time of year right now with this weird weather.
Yes, I'm using his office.
Ugh,
Otherwise, I'm kind of mobile.
Right, yeah, yeah. All right.
All right, moving on. Under me, I don't have anything this week. Sandy,
No.
Brenda.
Nothing.
Oh, Matt's gonna break the chain. Matt,
Oh, gosh. I got something.
You-
Junction Way, Dale said that, did they go over today or yesterday?
Yes, I do believe they were up there the other.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying, but, yeah.
So they got the borings done on Junction Way, so we're just waiting to get the results of those. Gonna be short. Rebuild downtown, we're still in discussions with IDOT. The guy that District 2 that has to make the decision is either retired or left, so now they have to move it down. I don't know if they're going to the state to get final approval, you know, and stuff with this, but
let's hope that benefits us.
yeah, maybe it does, maybe it does. So they're working on it. They understand the urgency that we need a response, so Dale's kind of checking in weekly and stuff with them without pestering them, so to speak, but DSC should have our geotechnical report, and then we do have all the construction permits from EPA for the water main and the sanitary sewer, so that's all good.
Do our permits, like, do they expire?
They're good for a year.
Okay.
Yep, so we're good. And then the Oslide grant, Dale's they're working on the design and everything currently, so I think when they get far enough along with it, they'll probably be setting up a meeting with Nate to review it and. Yep. That is it.
All right. One of the committees, Jen?
So we really need to get together and start talking about the sesquicentennial event. And then I have a resolution that we need to pass. I make a motion to approve resolution 2410, a resolution approving and authorizing execution of firework display contract service agreement to engage services of RKM Fireworks Incorporated.
Giving them out.
Second, sorry.
17,000 for the amount of $17,500.
Thank you.
Now I second.
All right, Jen makes a motion to approve resolution number 24-10. Nathan seconds. Any discussion on fireworks? Roll call.
I was waiting for a second. Oh, sorry. Nathan,
Oh, that's fine.
We can stop.
No, that's all right. I was gonna just mention that the reason why I'm not asking for a second quote on it is because we've done business with them for 5 years in a row and we've gotten other quotes. Did we not get one the last time?
Nope.
Maybe we
years.
did. Then we'll stick with that. Go ahead.
I'm not aware of a second quote since I've been on.
All right, let's go.
We have-
with it.
When we went from Mad Bomber to the other one, we did others. Either way. Discussion about the fireworks. All right, roll call. We have
Nathan,
to stay on top of.
Yes.
Chris,
No,
Patrick,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
John is absent.
Motion passes 7-12.
I do have the movie, I have requested the movie to Swank. But I can't get a contract yet because the movie has not. The release date for DVD has not been out because the movie just came out in the fall. But they believe that right now it's gonna be April, so that will be coming soon. And then I had Byron Bank reached out to me asking if they could have a schedule of activity, like events. To possibly look at trying to sponsor. And we haven't had them sponsor anything. I haven't for events for us since COVID. But they used to sponsor our pumpkins when we used to have a Halloween party. And I believe we had up to $500, I think was our thing with them. But they have contacted me and so. I am going to have Brenda put some numbers together for me. Please, on some things that, on the money like I've spent in the past, so, cause I didn't wanna pull numbers out of the air. I can do it. On some things that they might be able to sponsor. I know right now I still need a sponsor for the DVD or the DJ. For the Easter egg hunt, so that I know how much we pay them and stuff, so I'm gonna kind of give them some small amounts to see if we can get them to. Come on board and maybe we can get some more sponsors for some things around here to alleviate some funding, some.
I think you're right. Try to get a sponsor for the fireworks. I mean, we draw a lot of people. You would think that somebody might be sponsored. Just wondering.
No, that's why I'm thinking if I can like start. Ask,
We do
cause
draw a
I
lot
mean,
of people.
cause I know like Nate, they get them for the park and stuff like.
For
that.
the baseball.
Yeah,
softball
for the,
program.
that's what I'm hoping
No, I've
maybe.
seen all those. I just wondered if somebody might. be-
I know, but, well, and that's why I want some numbers to see if I can. I was talking with Sandy, just that maybe we can start, see if we can get some, little bits here and there, maybe it will help cover some costs for us. Something we haven't done like that in a while, so. That's why, but. I think that's all. I'm not sure, but if I have more, I'll speak up later, but right now, that's all I can remember.
All right. Chris,
And nothing that I know.
Emergencies.
it's good. I don't like emergencies. All right. Bill,
Gee, I know it's starting to get warm out.
tomorrow.
Till tomorrow.
Yeah, till tomorrow, man. And I had a thought that, before I see, three-wheelers and motorbikes and that on our sidewalks and by our parks and, I was thinking of the land behind, where the old, sewer plant used to be. And I said, gee, I'd like to see if we could, entertain an idea of making that a park for us, because we could use the land, for, spread the park out. And so I said, gee, so I called up the mayor and he said, he thought it would be a pretty good idea. And I said, thank you. And I said, where do we go from here? I said, what do you want to, what would you like me to do? And he says, well, he said, sounds like a good idea. And said, maybe we should get a hold of Nathan and bring it up to him. And I called him and he did call me back. Thanks for that. And, I figured that it's still a good idea. And I know he's busy a lot and I'd be more than willing to help him on some of this stuff. But I'd like to see us, make that land back there. Does everybody know the land I'm talking about? Okay. You know, we get a lot of gripes from Ogle Crossings and the other people, maybe down Autumnwood people, you know, they want to know what we want to do. And I thought it would help control some of the problems that we have. And that residents would like to see, maybe it's a little, you know, progress out there for us. And we'd have a little more control without putting out too much extra effort. And I figured that maybe if we entertain an idea about making it part of our parks and we put some signs up there in the meantime, you know, this is a Davis Junction property. We don't want this to happen. We don't want that to happen, you know, and that way it puts the alert out for parents, or else we're going to be sending them letters at $750 a crack. And maybe we'll get some cooperation out of these parents or whoever it is, you know, driving around out there. So anyway, I did call Sandy and she said, well, she said it was too late for the agenda this week and that maybe we can put it on next month's agenda. And that's what I would like to see happen. I think we can do a lot by enhancing the growth of our parks. I think people think we're doing a good job. Well, they know we are. And that I'd like to see progress and promote our parks and give them a little more land. I know I don't have anything else to say right now. I could talk for hours and I don't like to do that, you know. What do you think, Nathan? What do you say?
I
man?
guess I can clarify a little bit of our conversation that we had. I said that currently due to the park project that we have going on, I don't know how funding would be really available for this project at this current moment. I feel that future plans for that to be turned into a park are amazing and it's a great idea. Just currently with the scope of the project that we're lightning, sorry, got my attention there. The scope of the project that we have going on now doesn't really allow us to have the funds to work on that project there. I do like entertaining the idea of making that into a maybe park, a park someday and to change that over. In the meantime, until we were to put something on it, I don't think it's going to deter signs or things of that nature. Will just deter any of the four-wheelers that go through there, unfortunately. But in the future, I think it's a great idea and a great use of space for the future plans. So,
I think that
I don't know how we need to do to maybe convert it over into a park space.
We don't have to
what we
put-
need to do for now, at least, or if we could just leave it as is until we put on a back burner of thoughts for us once we finish the major project that we have going on, and then finding a way in the future to fund the possibility of turning that into an additional park. Because as we grow, I think there would be another great space for it. So
I don't want to force to spend money immediately. I would like to get it on the books or the plans that we do something as soon as we can. But I would like to see some signs up there to give us a little more visibility, and people would certainly see that, and they would presume that our jurisdiction, they don't want to play with it. So keep their kids out of there, and people, I don't mean the kids, I mean, you know, any violations that people are prone to do out there, they might think twice about it, because that is a good advantage for us to have that $750 alleged fine, you know, for being out there. And I think it would appease a lot of people in Ogle Crossings and cut down any exposure to the village if anything happens. Now, a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, whatever, we had one mini bike or electric bike. I don't know what it was, but it was going down the Junction Road past the park, and it drove into a truck, and it did make contact and hit the truck. And I want to prevent something like this. And I thought that if we can, maybe if we can put these signs up there, it might a little more advantageous for us and in the way of prevention. And that's all I can say about it, but that's the way I feel. I'd like to certainly see some signs up there on the property, put some on
What
it,
do you want the signs to say, Bill?
just like we have at our other parks. This is not allowed. Motor vehicles aren't allowed to, anything that we don't allow in our parks now. I'd like to see something put up there,
And how would we enforce said signs?
just like we do now. We've already got the power to enforce any violations on any of our land.
Right, but we don't have the power to write $750 tickets.
We're not. We would send them a letter and tell them, just like we do now. You know, as long as we might be able to identify who the violator is, send that thing out and maybe put somebody on notice. I don't want to have another accident like we had before, someone driving down the road on 72 in this little motorbike, whatever it was, and on top of it being on the sidewalk and drive into traffic and hit a truck. That's my main
He was on
concern.
the bike path?
Yes. He was on the bike path and he went right into the street.
Was it a mini bike or was it electric scooters?
Yeah, I said, I think it may have been electric scooter or a
Well,
mini
those
bike.
are
I don't know.
on- Those are 4
Bike path.
bike
Four.
paths.
Okay. Brent, weren't you out there at this accident scene? You weren't out there at all? You didn't see anything about it? The fire department had to go, I'm sure.
Fire department know anything?
I didn't go question them.
I don't even remember.
Not any
going
time in
on.
the.
The only one I
recent
remember
past.
is the one that was hit on her regular bike,
Yes, here,
right on the corner of 72 and Junction.
yes.
That's the only one I
That
know.
was a couple weeks
There's
ago.
been two.
No,
there.
that was last summer.
Yeah,
No, this one was recently, right?
we haven't done anything recently for the fire.
Our
department.
fire department, okay, but someone was out there. They had to take this kid away, this individual away.
I
I don't know.
Alright,
if
you got that,
injuries or
Nathan?
anything were-
You gonna work on that?
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right. Anything further, Bill?
Am I gonna be able to get this on the agenda for next time? What are we gonna do? What do you say, Nathan?
Man, at this moment, I don't feel that there's a whole lot of support for this to be approved. I mean, I could be wrong, but everyone can reach out to me, and if everyone feels very strongly about this, we'll make sure it gets on the agenda. But as of right now, funding and everything else, and using our resources to put up signs right now that may or may not help the situation doesn't seem like a good idea at this very juncture.
Well,
I personally, I just saw the Canadian Pacific Police out at the railroad tracks a couple days ago. I didn't know they had a police department. I had to look that up online.
they do.
where
But
was the car?
they were patrolling their area that has signs up and trying to keep out motorbikes, and it doesn't do a good job. So, because they got a great trail back there. So, and they have a police force. We do not. And so, granted, he's not out there very often, but they have one, and he does come patrol that apparently quite often. So it was a white truck, I think, or something like that. It's CP. It's at CP Police on the side of it. So
They roll through.
a couple times a year. So there is an effort for them to keep and patrol that area, and I know that they struggle with that, and they have the resources, and we don't currently. So I would love for all the motorized traffic that is not allowed to stop, but I don't know that a sign is gonna do anything other than cost the village money, unnecessary money at this moment. Again, I love the park idea. I just, at this time, if we need to do something so it changes into a park use, I guess that's cool, but I don't see the point of doing that right now. Because if another idea that comes along better, then we just have to change it back to something else. So as far as legislative goes, I don't see a need for this unless, again, the board really is interested in, and we can all reach out to me in the
That's
next,
probably something we can address too, if we redo our comprehensive plan, is what the.
which we are, something I believe that is in the near
of
future.
that land will.
So, and I think that's a great thing when we do the comprehensive plan to put that into it. So, but at this point, then we have something for the future. But as of right now, I don't see doing anything else being working.
Well, we don't know right now how much a few signs would cost. We might even have in our possession already, you know. just
It's not so
upon
much the
demand.
signs, but then it's the mowing changes because you just don't mow over those areas now. You have to weed whack and take care of them differently. There's a lot of expenses that go into the manpower that goes out there and puts it in that's taking away from. It's just
Cut
that.
the grass now, we cut it, right?
Right.
Well,
And
what's the
now we
problem?
would have to get off that and weed whack around it or something else to take care of that area. It just adds more time and manpower that is not necessary for the
The signs would,
possibility
yeah,
of an outcome.
these
For
signs
something we literally
would,
can't enforce.
would,
Yeah, for something we can't enforce. So, I mean, if
Well-
we had the staff to do it and we had a police force or some type of ordinance enforcement that could actually identify that, then it would be different. But without that, I don't, I mean, even the county police aren't gonna really enforce that trespassing or something really anyways, other than the bike itself. And then they're just gonna chase that down the best of its ability until they disappear anyway.
Yeah.
So, so I think that's the idea of motorbikes is that they disappear into the crevices. So
well, I don't want
I
to,
love the idea though.
Yeah, I know.
And
I-
as far as
I
putting on the
understand.
Comprehensive plan, I love it. Like
you know,
as future.
I would like to
possibilities.
find out how much it would cost if we just put signs up, something there to give us a little leverage.
Well, when you're doing
on the
60 miles an
property.
hour past the sign, I
They're
don't know how
not
well
gonna
you're
read
gonna
them
read
anyway.
that, so.
What?
They're not gonna read them anyway. They don't stop at the stop sign. Why would they stop and read
Sidewalk,
those?
the back of the subdivision. where-
I don't want us to have a
Rails on
defeated,
citizen trespass, I
Yeah.
don't want us to have a defeated attitude, but I want to do, I want the residents and the board to know that I want to do all I can to promote our parks, promote safety for our residents and everybody to have a little more enjoyable, safe life.
And I think you've done that.
that-
It's just that at this juncture, I don't know that that's the right choice.
You know, I'm gonna be watching how we spend maybe money, because I want those signs in that park. I want something there.
That's not a park though.
I mean, you're free to.
We can, it's our
you're free to
property. though.
research the cost of the
It's our,
signs yourself if
Still
you
not a
like.
park.
okay,
mean,
so I don't, so it may not be a park, but it's still village property. And the onus is upon us to ensure that land just like we do the parks. And someone sooner or later is gonna, if someone gets injured out there, I hate to use the word if, but someone's gonna come after us as a village as to why we didn't do this and why we didn't do that. And I want to know that we had this discussion tonight. that-
Why didn't, we didn't keep them from being stupid? That's a tough argument.
I don't think so. If I'm talking about adults, fine. But I don't see too many adults causing violations out there. I think something near and dear to them in their household.
Well,
They, you know.
if you go out on Halloween, you can see plenty of adults.
Oh.
Violation of motorized vehicles. So
Can we
if
move on?
those have signs too. So
Okay, well,
but comprehensive plan sounds great. All right. everybody-
I'd like to see it sooner than not later. You know what I mean?
Yep, I-
Okay? And I'm on record that any violations or complaints that we get, that I'm gonna let people inform them that we did have this discussion and what the results were. Okay?
Appreciate it.
Next.
Well,
Anything else?
no, thanks a lot.
Yep.
Thanks a lot.
Are we on me now?
Yes.
You're on it now.
Is the first thing can be discussed in open meeting? How's that? work?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
I'm gonna let Nate discuss this, right?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Discussion of the possible approval of compensation for Brody due to the acquisition of licensee. That is, applicator license, I believe. Is that correct?
Yep, so Brody works for me. He's a key seasonal, very good worker. He went and got his food manager certificate, not just the handler, but the manager, which means he can be there when they're cooking. And he also received his pesticide license. He currently, I'd like to see him add $1 to his wage because he's currently only at $15 an hour. And the other staff members who have food service, sanitation, and other make more. So I think that I'm also going to rely on him to do more things because of those, and he can do more things for the village. So I think I'd like to see his compensation reflect his added responsibility and certificates and licenses.
Did he do that on his own?
What's that?
Did he do that on his own?
No, but I asked, I said, hey, would you be interested in getting the food manager?
That's great. I don't have an issue.
His-
with that. I was
his-
just wondering if he
right.
took it upon himself to say. hey, I'd like to
Historically,
do
we've
this.
always said that the licenses
good.
are tied to wages and we should give
Yeah, no, I,
Conversation.
The money went.
I'm on
Agreed.
this side.
So what do I need to do for approval of this? Sandy, do you have a number or something
It's
that?
within your budget.
Yes, oh,
All
yes.
we need is, I believe, a consensus.
Well, don't we have our employee handbook that covers some of this stuff? So
There's not a
Mayor?
specific, section for compensate, for determining compensation.
no, wait, I can't see here.
Hold on.
What I'm saying is this, it's gotta be in the employee manual, okay? If people improve their performance by getting certain licenses and stuff like that, that they should, get a raise. And it shouldn't even, we shouldn't even have to have this conversation.
Yes, we do. It's funny.
We need to make sure it's documented that we approved it.
Now, okay,
Even if it's in the handbook.
Yes.
I'm
because
sorry.
we have people
Uh,
who have CDLs now, right?
Sandy, go.
I believe the appropriate thing would be to make a motion to approve the, additional compensation to Brody Cook at $1 an hour. And then we could vote on it and that would be
Do I
appropriate.
need a number or anything like?
You do not just make a motion to
Okay.
approve additional compensation of $1 an hour to Brody Cook
Perfect. I make a motion for approval of compensation, of an increase of $1 for Brody Cook due to acquisition of his license
per hour.
per hour. Sorry.
Just $1.
Just $1 a week. That'd be great. I'm sorry. $1 an hour, please. Things are tight right now, so like.
Um, You wanted to add to that motion effective the next pay cycle?
Yes, please.
second.
I would like to add to make the next pay cycle for this to take effect.
Nathan makes a motion to approve the $1 per hour raise for Brody Cook for obtaining 2 licenses. Effective the next pay cycle. Who seconded that? Chris seconded. Any discussion on the wages?
Are we going to reimburse him the cost for getting these licenses?
We paid for it, like, yeah.
He paid for them what?
We paid for it.
Oh, we did. Okay, good. That's good.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Chris,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
John's absent, Nathan.
Yes.
Oh.
you.
7:33.
I got a big grin today. All right. I make a motion for approval of resolution number 24-09, a resolution approving and authorizing execution of proposal for professional services between the Village of Davis Junction and Willett Hoppen for IDNR Oslet Grant Community Park Improvements.
Nathan makes a motion to approve resolution number 24-09. Chris seconds. Any discussion on that resolution?
Yeah, Matt, what does that cover?
Ooh.
The contract, what does that cover the first Osled or maybe I.
First Oslet is done.
First, yeah, this is
The
for,
first Oslet is done.
What, how much was that and what was that for?
That was for buying.
All right, so there's
It
just
wasn't.
one then.
Phase 1, we didn't have any Oslet. Only for this phase 2.
All right.
The phase
Park
2.
improvements.
Can I clarify?
Yes, please.
Nate,
I can clarify this straightforward, sorry. The first OSLAD grant did not have engineering expense with it. So we just
For the
did
purchase of the
administer
property.
for the purchase of the
Sure.
property.
All right.
This is the second OSLAD grant to do the improvements to the
Right.
project. This contract covers the engineering fees to design all of those improvements
Sure, for part two.
for part 2 of the grant.
No, I understood that part. I just
Okay.
didn't understand the phases. So
Yeah.
we did the first phase to buy the property. We took on our second phase of our park to do the pond, and this
Yeah.
is actually the third phase for the
Correct.
park, but this, no.
I think it'll be covered on
Alright.
page 43 of our board packet, where it says scope of professional services.
Yeah, well,
It's not.
Did we do
It
that?
was never labeled a phase.
Well,
The purchase of
I
the
thought
10
it was
acres on the north part of the north part of the park was not included as any phases of any project. It
No.
was an individual Osler grant for the sole purchase. So phase 1 is the pond. Phase 2 is currently what all of this will cover, which is the remainder of the park. There is no phase 3 as of yet.
Correct.
I was talking about our phases.
No, that's our
There were,
phases.
there were 2 out of the grants. so-
Yeah, those are our phases. Our phases is Osler land purchase, phase 1 pond, phase 2 now.
Okay, so this covers phase 2 for the total amount,
yes, for all the improvements.
which is a 50-50 match
That is correct.
up to $1.2 million.
Correct. That's the target, is to get somewhere close to that, so it's 50-50.
Right, and this engineering covers that.
Yes.
All right, thanks.
Yep.
Any other discussion? Roll call?
Patrick,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes,
John's absent, Nathan,
Yes.
Chris.
Yes.
Motion passes 7:36.
That finishes me. Do you just want me to make a motion for the next one since John's not here? No? Okay.
You drew it, so.
We drew it? Okay.
No, I can,
You can make it?
I'm saying, I'm just letting everybody know, we're pulling that for right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a little more research on a couple things, so
Okay.
don't worry about that. We're good to go, but I did want to add that's not on here. I'm okay with just pulling that. Sandy, is that okay? Okay. Is we do finally have a generator at our shop, so it's
Yeah.
like happy days for me, and everybody over there, so it finally went online, the end of last week, so, that is a beautiful thing.
Especially nights like tonight.
Long time coming, very happy.
Anybody else have anything for Nathan's committee?
Oh, sorry, I thought he said, he was moving on to me, so
No.
I'm just really excited about the generators.
Oh, I was done. I was asking you, we need to do that and then it skipped to that.
Everybody
so-
must have.
So we jumped ahead.
All right, Patrick,
I don't have anything. Brett, do you for utilities?
The only thing that popped up, was the quote that all of you approved for the mixing pump install. That install did take place today, so, that is online tested. So that's really anything exciting there.
Hey, brother.
That's it for utilities.
All right, anything on economic development? Like progress on the grant? Unfinished business? Public? Moving right along. Closed session? Who wants to make the long one?
You gotta read this whole thing?
Yep.
Make a motion to go to closed session. 2C1, the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, specific individuals who serve as independent contractors in the park, recreational, or educational setting, or specific volunteers of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee, a specific individual who serves as an independent contractor in a park, recreational, or educational setting, or a volunteer in the public body, or against the legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity.
Second.
Chris makes a motion to go into closed session under section 2C1. 10 seconds.
Nope.
No, it's gotta be roll call. Coming up, we do all in favor.
Jen,
Yeah.
Bill,
yes.
John's absent, Nathan,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
The time?
Time is 7:39.
Go ahead.
Make a motion.
Yeah,
to come out of
yes.
closed session.
I make a motion.
We got a motion for reconvening.
Okay, I'll make a motion to reconvene.
There we go.
Second.
There you go.
All right, Chris makes a motion to reconvene open session. Jen seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Reconvene open session at 7:59. We will take the appropriate action on the discussion of closed session. And we will be back to that at a later date for approval. Somebody had something else?
Yeah, my last thing is, I assume everybody got the same email I got from Jay.
Yes, yes, and Nate Hill informed me that he did respond to that gentleman, and let him know that that he will look into it, but that typically the bathrooms are open, but they're still winterized because it's February.
Right.
So while it's 70, it's still
But
February.
he didn't seem to mention that we had two, did he?
But-
Oh, we had two.
I think he was referring to this one right here at the well building, 'cause that's the one that most of the people who walk the path use.
But we also have the concessions, but
Yeah,
that's
but-
locked
but-
usually.
But in the past.
They're both winterized right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't
And-
use either.
But then we usually have, we have the porta potty that's over there by the, in between those two, in the shelter area. And then the new plans have more bathrooms that will show up eventually, so her point is going to be fixed when the park projects get done. They're just not
Is that a late?
available in the winter time
The
or
person.
now. So,
I didn't know whether it could go either way.
Yeah.
Okay.
They made it.
Yeah. But Nate did inform me that he responded to the,
yeah, there's usually one in the, kind of a big one, and then there's also one that used to be by the, The shelter.
We haven't done that in a couple.
but there was also one by the parking lot that came out. There was one, a big one that,
We
like,
don't have one right now, like, sitting in this.
okay,
They put those in the summer.
right. And so there'll be a ton more once the summer kicks in. It's just winter time.
We just need to control that.
Well,
Things are not there because nobody needs to be frozen out there and we have to check porta potties.
In the summertime, I don't think we need a porta potty, but I mean, they put one out there.
Oh, we do. Oh, we do big time.
All right.
The amount of people in the parks require
yes, yes.
additional, yeah, oh, yeah.
Anything further?
Sorry, go ahead.
No.
I motion to get out of here.
nope.
Nope.
I sent this message to Fergie so that he is aware, but when you deny a bid or a quote for something, I cannot bring it back as is. So I notified him to please ask Sherwin-Williams to amend their bid. They will determine what that means to them, but you cannot vote on the exact same thing. So I will, the date is not sufficient enough.
We change the color of the carpet.
It can be $1.
It can be $1. Can deal. It can be $1.
Can we change the color of the carpet too?
And it's not sufficient. We literally asked for the same thing that's downstairs to be installed upstairs.
Perfectly.
But yeah, so just be aware when you see it again, it will not be the same dollar amount simply because it cannot be.
I would have noticed it was off $1.
Anything further?
No, can I make a motion to get out of here?
I'll make a motion
Appropriately.
to,
Go ahead.
Is that
I'll
a
make a
second
motion
full
to adjourn.
Jen makes a motion to adjourn. Chris seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. We are adjourned at 8:03.